One. So, right, so first and foremost, when I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Right, we say double and Apostle and Elders, great Musa and Ruel, our teachers are all passing in truth. And we say salutations for the Akim, so they push you within our truth and sincerity, day in and day out in the constantly in season or season. We say Shalom. And once again, we also did the prophesy, somebody give me Surah. Right, we'd say to be occupied any prophecy, right? Because again, every single day, you know, we today is actually Sunday, right? What today is 7? Today is 7 or the 6th?
The 5th.
Right, today is the 5th Salah. Right, the 5th, you know, March month, right? The reason why I'm saying the date is because Trump came yesterday, right? And he said that he's given Iran until Monday morning to come up with a plan, a treaty then, right? And after that, all hell will break loose, right?
That's what we see last time, man.
And that's what you see the last time.
Now, until he didn't give them 48,000.
Yeah. So he given them. So however it may be, right? That situations happen where they went with the pilot, they went to the jets get shut down, right? Something that E.S.O.T.E thought was not capable of doing.
It was
You understand?
unprecedented.
It was unprecedented. They call it. E.S.O.T.E pride was so high. Like I was watching some comments before, where E.S.O.T.E thought that all they needed was one of that jet and Iran was done. Not realizing that they shut down 2. Actually, it was more than 2. Right, because now if it come off of the mainstream media, right, the MSN medias, and you actually go to legitimate sources, you would see that it's a bunch of planes that were shut down over a period of time. These two make it to the mainstream, and they had also put it out, right? Now it had some they went and recover, and even the information about the recovery of the pilots was wrong. They didn't recover them, right? So they said. They didn't recover them, but the information said they went in smooth. No, it was wrong. They went in get 1 and 17 and getting licked up. Right? So it's a bunch of lies that's been put out, but with that being said, we see the escalation of things at hand. Right? You know, things will get worse. Now today is considered to be their what? The world is celebrating what? The Easter, which is go back to what a very paganistic time, a very Ishtar, right? Fertility, right? Now, if you're going to it, it's something that they're not supposed to be taking part in when it comes to like worshiping the Lord. Easter have nothing to do with the Lord. They have nothing to do with the Lord. A rabbit laying eggs first and foremost. Go and find a rabbit laying eggs. You understand? Go and find abominable animal. Right? You go to church today, right? Today is considered their main day, right? Yeah, you know, all of a sudden you go on your WhatsApp or your social media, the first set of pictures you're seeing is with the white man with the thorns on his head, right? And with the caption saying he has risen, you know, death has been conquered. You know, whole year all of a sudden I'm being abominable, but all of us, you know, it's been same thing for the Christmas, you know that how it is be, right? Like Jake, but give me the scripture.
You see there's Ecclesiasticus 9, or from verse 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the Lord of the Most High.
And that's what you're supposed to do, giving your mind to the Lord the Most High. Right? Because give me Joshua 1. And is it 10? Is it or 5? 8.
Joshua 1 verse 8. He said, the book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
So that is it. So here you say it could become here and it's different. Say 2 different places but the same thing. This word is supposed to be departed from the mouth. Especially by prophet, because now we in the time where you're supposed to be speaking this word. That's what the scripture says, to speak unto them more prophecy, right? And give them warning. Who are you giving them warning from? It's from the Lord. We see in every single day things are only getting worse. We actually you know, I was reading something, and I was reading a series of videos, and most likely I might do one today, going into like farming. Now it comes from different particular newses that where stuff happening where food shortages taking place, like ships car deliver, planes car go over this particular place, right? We see an energy crisis. All these things would be considered to cause an effect on food and the energy sector, right? Now, get a little information more come out. And this is something we were saying yet about 2 years ago. Remember we do a video, we do come on the streets, the brothers talk about it as well, where the farmers was warning about a particular crisis that would come, that the farming industry would have to shut down. Now we actually end that. The farmers come to say before 6 months the farming industry is going to happen to be in a crisis, meaning that it will close down, it will literally come to a halt. Now some people might hear that and say, well it's just the farming sector. Now how are you going to get food? Secondly, when food becomes so scarce, it will be have to give another one in rations. Now when it become rations, however it is that whoever in charge tell you to come and get this particular food, you will have to take it that way. Now when you hear that, all these things that come to your mind when you MOTV, all these things you try to say, well, hey, this can happen this way, this can happen that way. Right? That's why it's such an important thing to be what to occupy. You understand? They say don't let that depart, don't let the word of the Lord depart from your mouth. You understand? Go ahead. Yes, what you say, go ahead.
Yeah, because not just the lack of food as well, you know, but like, you know, that was the hospitality industry now.
Is it? You had a thing.
You know? Like all these restaurants, these hotels, all these things have shut down, which going to a major, you know what I mean, a major unemployment is aggravating, or at least in this country, because I mean, it's 100,000 people.
Yep.
It's 100,000 people don't lose their jobs as the Prime Minister coming. And we're talking about countless thousands more if that hit on this side, which it most likely will.
And that is just basically here. We talking about the rest of countries who actually, when they go and look at the data, right, their unemployment data, it's very bad. You understand? There are like millions in certain countries in all.
Almost 50% I think in the US or something.
50%, yeah, can. I believe what we want to know is that when the 50% come out, actually Trump administration come and put out fake data. So he make it look like it was less, if he make it look like 30. And then they do a recap of it on the market, so it's not becoming 50. So unemployment is high right now. You know, people can't get out work. Jobs literally, that's right. For example, people don't realize what has caused a sector not to get work. It's not because the government don't want to get all the work. It's because it has something happening that causing it. To not say, well, okay, this is not important, we don't need this section. No. Yeah. No. To you wouldn't get any work, so not bad. Right? To them, they're watching it on one particular level. But what our cause is like what? A skyrocket and people not having one. Money, food, which will cause what? More crime. So you see how people trickle along.
And more government dependency
more
as well.
Dependency.
So when they come with the UBI, like in England, where they say they're ready to launch the MOTV, you know? That UBI, that correlates with the MOTV app. You would have to get the MOTV to take the UBI, or take the MOTV to get the UBI.
Yep. Now, let's talk about what? So the plan.
Done.
You understand? The traps that they set up. You know? Right?
What I was saying, I was talking about the food industry. Remember, even before, there was not only making farming more difficult for farmers, but there was also buying up farmland.
BlackRock, BG, all these guys they buy how much? It was at that point in time was 70%. Now I think it raised to like 80 something, close to 90% that they control.
I think it's he and Snakes. He and Snakes own a lot of the farming land right now.
BlackRock.
Yeah. So right now, just to be able to get farming alone, they more or less control it.
They control the sector.
You understand? So on the back end of now, when distribution started to be affected, the few farmers that have like private land, they can be able to produce and sustain demand, so to speak.
You know, and just as you say, they wouldn't have the land. It's because they would end up in a crisis where they would have to sell what they have because they wouldn't be able to keep up maintenance, they wouldn't be able to keep up to keep the land, right? So this is where now Esau, well, them elites will come into bite, and that is basically what was going on. If you go and watch out BlackRock, right, which is like a bunch of small acts, like if you go up to actually who own this particular company, you will see go back to some elites, right? But when you watch how they were actually getting the land, right, they were waiting for crisis, for certain particular crisis to happen, where farmers wouldn't be able to pay. And they would come in and say, well, okay, we have a plan. You give all of this amount of money. How much you want? Them, because they had the money, right? You want 14 million, we giving you that. That's small thing. But you see, somebody might say, well, 40 million good, right? 40 million is a very good thing to have, right?
Yeah, money.
40 million is a very good thing to have because that's how people just watch the money. But when they own it, where you going to spend your 40? The system crashed. Which part? How you going to get your 40? Right? So they understand that what the control of man resources, the control of food, money, electricity, all these things are the reason why they want to cause all the way they want to literally cause an energy crisis so that why? You can't get current, can't get gas, can't get oil, can't get this. They understand that now society dependent on them. Well, you need this, we have it. So you have to come to us. You have to take it. Whatever, however you have to get, because hey, think about it, a man might have a family to feed, right? He might have a family to feed. And he just don't have the money. But the government say, okay, well in order to get this particular food, you have to take the UBI, right? We give another little UBI, which is the universal basic income. In order to get the UBI, you have to take this trip into your hand. He would. Because again, a lot of these people, they don't have that backbone. They talk about standing to the Lord, but they can't. And that's how hard it's going to be in time. I always say the hour temptation. Right? A man could say he's not going to take the mark of the beast. Right? He could say that. I know a lot of people that say that they're not going to take the chip in your hand. Because a lot of them know that the MOTV go back to the mark, the chip. Right? But when the time reach where you have to be tested, and that's why I say, you know a man in the time of what? Affliction. You don't know a man in the time of happiness. Scripture say that. You know a man in the time of affliction. That is why in the book of Proverbs will tell you, those who fall, let's paraphrase it, them that fall during the time of adversity, the weak. You understand? Because as a man, you sound strong. Yeah. But men on the whole, they're effeminate. They get dependent. When you hear men talk today, it's not a man. It's what society grabs now to be for them in a mood. You know? So imagine when government stop these things. What should the balling right now? Right? What should the balling here right now? He is still good. You know the crazy thing about it? He is still good. A man lost his work today, he can still go on and find a next job. He is still good. There are places around the world that can't even get a next job. And they're balling here. So imagine when shit pop off. How bad it's going to be. Go ahead.
True
legislation, yep.
Because when the laws that they're making, when you look at it, right? Like for example, in the US, you can't be able to plant food unless you have a license. You
Can't get
rainwater. There are certain things that you don't have access to. That, for example, like I say a person down here, if they don't have a job, they can have a big fix somewhere. You can't do that across the you don't have, you can't be able to have your own stuff or do your own things without their permission.
You need the permission,
so that there are next way to affect people. So you take away the ability to do things on their own.
Well,
Yeah, he said Joshua 1 verse 8, he said the book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
So you have to do what? You have to meditate day and night. Constantly in this word, constantly focusing on what the Lord said. Because the end of the day, it have nowhere else given in the prophecies that written on here. The Lord tell you, shall be wars and rumors of wars. It doesn't matter which part it is in the world. When a war take place, it was the first statement that's come out somebody's mouth. Hey, the Lord really, the Bible really say go a war. But why? It's there. It's there. Right? So you focus. Let's be meditate on it. You finish up. You have to bring it or you finish up.
Even with that way, so the prophecies. I know what a book you can look through. There are some people that talk about their book and when you look at it as a cheap knockoff, you understand, saying the same things that the scriptures say, but you're saying it like you books a different way, really and true. You don't have other books that actually are prophetic as the actual scriptures in an accurate way. Because which part of any of them other books say you hear them talking about a marking and your forever that you can't buy yourself.
Hey, what a book tell you about war in the Middle East? World War III. Ilana Jehoshaphat will go back to what Jehoshaphat would mean to what the Lord's judgment. The place of the Lord's judgment. All the nations gather in there. We know this is not what happened in here right now in the Middle East. That is not the war, but it's a prelude to what is to come.
Yeah.
Because now you see how easy it is that is the main focal point. Because I remember Edomite about a week ago, he was asking, why do we need to go to there for? Why we just can't cut another straight? No, it's a hook. You know why? It's because the Lord put it that all you have to go there. Whatever that happen, have to happen there in the Middle East. Have to happen. Right? Have to happen there. It's a reason why majority of the oil has come from this place. That is the Lord saying easy what? Easy horse of the battle. Right? That's why the Lord says he do it whatever it is he please. It's his will. We just live in it. You understand? It's like a movie. The Lord is I always remember the picture that you see the Lord hand, and underneath his hand is strength. And on the strength is the elites. And underneath the elites is the government, and underneath the government is the people. But the main thing is that over them was the hand of the Lord. Because the Lord said what? The king's heart is in what? It is in his hand. So whatever this is true. And the Lord already mentioned in Isaiah that he said he do it both sides. Good and evil. Right? People fail to realize that. Alright. An example of that, like we're talking about particularly Easter. Right? Easter, alright, so Easter is the 3 days. They want to do it from the Friday to the Sunday. Right now, different parts of the world, they get 2 weeks. For example, for us, we get 2 weeks. Right? But if you really watch it on an aspect, they celebrate the death of the Lord. But we know this is not the week of the death of the Lord, right? I'm not correct that statement. I shouldn't say it that way. But the days that they celebrate it's not that. Right? If you die today, would you want somebody to celebrate 3 days of your day? You have the cloth in your hand. All these things about the paganism, and they realize where would Easter come from. Right? But they would not. You know what they will do? They will take the time and pop a picture with a white man with thorns on the head thing. Where that white man come from? Where that white man come from? Who is he? Who is he? How the bunny and the eggs come about? Where? So, alright, that's good thing. So, if Easter is to celebrate for the Lord, where the bunny and the egg come out from? Why are they going to do an Easter bunny egg hunt? Where did that come from? That is not in the Bible. It's not there. If you ever notice that one place that you see with Easter, when you go and look it up, it means Passover. It's not Easter. Easter comes from something else. It's a pagan tradition that they uphold. They celebrate. They talk about Easter as their the church's main tradition to uphold for the Lord. But they celebrate Easter traditions more than they uphold anything for the Lord. Yeah. They do the Easter bunny hunts, they put the Easter thing and all this other bullshit. But that's for another thing. I said, right.
Yeah? No.
You finished with the Surah 9, right?
You tell me, go ahead then.
Oh, you finished 9, yeah. You finished yours, right?
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Joshua 1 verse 8, he said, this is the book. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
So to observe, right? To watch, to hearken, to take heed to what is written there. To do what? To do what?
He said, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Do according to what is written. Now we have pastor say to what is written. If the Lord tell you don't eat pork, hey, it's simple. You're not supposed to. A man can't come and tell you go ahead and eat pork, and it's written in the scriptures that you're not supposed to. That is just a simple way to put it. No, there we go a little higher with it, right? The time that we're going into, if the Lord tell you that you're not supposed to fall, you don't want a man lukewarm, right? And our temptation is rather stand for him. They have no in between. This is something people have to get into their mind. When it comes to the Lord, they have no in between. It is you're rather you're for him or you're not for him. He don't want to hear the excuses. Because when he was crucified, did you hear any excuses? No. And he was the lamb that was given up for what? For the sins. Right? So did you hear any excuses? That's why he tell you to take up your walk, your cross. Right? That's why he tell you some of you will die, these things. That's why he tell you that. It's a purpose why he tell you that. It has no in between. That's why when you observe the new way it goes with all different aspects of the word. You have to abide by what it is written. You can't call yourself, alright, so one of these statements people will make is that there's a servant of the Lord. But you know, the word servant comes from the word serve. You go, where's a prominent king? Let's name a king. Let me just say a red ancient king that everybody know about. Nah, I talk about enough scripture-wise example, but like that's well known. Right?
Pharaoh or something, everybody know Pharaoh.
Yeah, I talk
Okay, well, they must still eat.
I talk about king. Right, so let me go.
Oh, King Andrew.
Let me say King Andrew. Now I want to go ancient, more hectic, and more prominent. Right? So let me just go on. Right? When a king had what? Servants. Could his servants disobey him? No. In order to be a king, in order to be a servant to a king, that means you have to abide by what the king wants you to do. So okay, that is not common aspect. So if you're saying there's a servant of the Lord, and you have to abide by what the Lord say, in order to be a servant, you have to serve whoever it is there's a servant to. And in order to serve, that means you have to be doing what it is he say to do, not what you think it is. You have to be doing what it is the Lord say to do. So if the Lord said, don't do this, you're not supposed to. That is a form of what? Servant. Right? And that is not a hate. That is a sin. If the Lord said, them that die for him and they die, that is serving the Lord. It's book of Romans, or I believe Corinthians say, rather we live unto the Lord. And if we die, we die unto the Lord. That's a form of what? Servant. Because it stands strong for who? For the Lord. And if it going to come to that time, just so like that, going to come to a time like this. For example, and I'll bring me the stuff for the food, right? Like the meats, like pork, take shrimp, so like maybe, right? You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to eat that thing, right? Now, in the times that we're coming into, if you know the Lord will tell, and you had to get food from Esau, you don't know what this is going to give you, contaminated food. A man might say, well, only going to be in that too. Yeah, but the scripture says his servant shall what?
Shall eat.
So you see how you make a whole circle? But you have to be, in order to be the servant, in order to eat, that means you have to be serving the Lord. It means you have to be serving the Lord. When the rest don't find food, you get. The Lord says, servant shall be what? Eat, shall drink, shall be happy any time of death. That is what it is. So when the Lord says something here, and you read something here, they show you how everything is just make a whole circle together. That's what we're coming into. Especially times of getting ready. There's a purpose of doing this work here now. There's a purpose of doing what it is recommended to do. So that the time that they go on here and apparently they will still come into what? The recollection. Right?
In Romans 2, starting from verse 19, it says, and art confident that thou thyself art the guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness. It says, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes. You say which has the form of knowledge and of the truth of the law. It said, thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself? Thou that preachest a man should not steal, dost thou steal? It said, thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery, does thou commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, does thou commit sacrilege? It say, though thou makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law dishonoreth thou power. For the name of power is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written. And that goes to what the brother was talking about. They say it has certain things we have to do, especially being as those examples. When we come out here and we teaching these things, we can't be telling a man to do certain things and you ain't doing certain things. You know, you're fucking up. You understand? You're looking for licks.
You're looking for licks.
You understand? The same thing you're telling somebody else to do, you have to do it even better than them. Because you is the example unto them. They have to see your result. They have to see your determination. That is why Paul said was, be followers of me as I am of Mashiach. He was an example unto them in the flesh. Just like how Lord was an example in the flesh. the apostles afterwards was also examples for other men to follow. If you want men to follow like them examples, you also
Have to
do
lead by
the same
example.
thing. You understand? Now I say what they say, don't tell some man of the stealers now steal. You tell that man stealing wrong and you go and he see you thief it.
Yeah.
You're blaspheming the Lord. You
See,
understand?
scripture, well, one is, don't have any mother. What have, you talking about the Messiah? The Father, right? Is there any mother?
The Almighty you're talking about,
The
right?
Almighty, yeah.
He's only omnipotent, he doesn't have any parents.
There's an parent.
My landlord, every morning I get food from every morning.
I think
That is something that my
No,
body.
the
Yeah,
word
yeah,
God.
that's it.
No, the
Yeah,
word
I
God,
know.
right?
No matter what kind of celebrity.
No.
What if everybody is born from mother?
Understand something, right?
But Mary birth Jesus Christ, which was
No. Understand something, right? The word God, right? When you go to the etymology, it goes back to the words like power or judges. And a judge, like the term God, is also a title for the Lord in a sense. Because he is also a power. He has power. Even the angels also have they are a title of, they're not the Almighty God, but they have a title of a God in a sense.
God, yeah.
Right. So when they say that, they're talking about the Lord, right? The Messiah, right? And even still, what it is they're doing something abominable. They're not supposed to pray to the Lord's mother.
Jesus Christ, you attempt this as how to pray.
That's it.
I never hear.
That was it. They praying to his mother. That is something that Catholicism does teach. She's just a person.
Yeah.
She just like anybody else. She just had a purpose to fulfill. But that is what Catholicism does teach. They teach you to pray to Mary and the saints. Huh?
Right. Another question is this presently.
Because of the what?
Presently.
Uh-huh.
This is that thing that. What is God to contact?
To start with, they are not the true, they are not the true people. They just staying in that land until the time is fulfilled. You understand? They get plucked out. But they are not originally those people. So they just dwelling in the land.
So, I
They had a fall.
They have it.
But that is prophecy.
That's prophecy.
That's prophecy. So I just want to bring one scripture, the first question, and then we'll get the next question is something I like to ask. The man, 1 Timothy 2:5. The man, John 14:3. But the man 1 Timothy.
Is 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 5. He said, "For there is one God and one mediator between God and men."
So there's one God, right? Which is the Father. And there's one mediator. Right? One mediator. And no other mediator. Right? A mediator is somebody who doesn't make intercession. Right? In between. Right? So you say, read it over, animal, volume on the verse.
He said 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5. "For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Yahushua HaMashiach."
The who?
The man Yahushua HaMashiach.
So,
Which that is the Lord's name in Hebrew.
yeah, so I'm not going to say that. So when we say Yahushua, right? Yahushua is the Messiah name in Hebrew. Right? When you say Jesus Christ, you say Yahushua, right? Now it's telling the scripture telling you that this man, he is a mediator, not Mary. So one time you're supposed to know if he's a mediator, who is he to turn to him? You can't pray to him. You understand? And that is what I'm going, that is the next one I'm going to read John and John 14. That was 14, 13. You have it?
John 14 and 13. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father.
No, but no, what?
Yeah, I think it's when you go down.
Read it.
It says, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do.
So, alright. So here what the Lord saying. He said, whatsoever you shall ask in my name. He didn't say Mary. He said his name. So where the place that Mary coming from? No, we know where it come from exactly. Right? But it's something that they're not supposed to do. Right?
That the Father may be glorified in the Son.
The Father may what?
Be glorified in the
He
Son.
didn't say any mother. He say you want his son. You are his son. Right?
If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it.
Who there?
In my name.
See, they say Mary. Because you remember that I come given, right? That when the Messiah was around, that a woman that woke up to him. And she was telling him, blessed be the paps that baby. Right? She was talking about Mary. Right? And he said, right? He said that it's not a problem again. The main book. Right? Not get it. What I'm saying
It was John 14, 6. John 14, verse 6.
Right, so this came
Yeah.
Luke 11 verse 27, right? It said, it came to pass as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked. But he said, yea, rather, blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. You understand? So that woman was, so you understand where the Mary praise come from? It come from what? They come to consider it for woman worship, right? Which go back to Saramis, right?
Yes.
Saramis? Semiramis, right? Right? So he perhaps stopped it one time. He said, no, I don't have that. Don't have that. No, bless me, you don't have that. No, bless them that do what? That do this. Yeah, that is who you are going to bless. You understand? Right. And the next question was people on the land, right? People on Israel, right? So,
Micah 2 verse 1. He said, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
So this people didn't know what scripture said. These people, they're working iniquity upon their beds, right? The beds literally mean the literal bed, right? But say these people working iniquity upon the beds are very evil people living with, right? So go ahead.
He said, when the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they convert fields and take them by violence.
So they convert fields and what?
Take them by violence.
If you go and actually look at the history of these people, you will understand how they're going on right now, right? You see what they want to do with, so you see now, it's seen. So it basically, I'm glad you can see it because now the scripture become easy to break down there. Because they see what it is doing. We in that time. We in that time. But you have to realize it's not for them to get. Right? And I will tell you why. Where?
But also, if you know anything about the they see in Jerusalem in
70, yeah.
when it says that they were driven out of that land. You understand? They went into slavery. After that those people went and happened to that land.
Yep.
Right. Because but the time I see this thing start, I say, no, that can't be. I question myself, right? And I was just wondering like that. Can you start that? What the end with them kind of way?
And they like to refer to themselves as the return of Jews. That was like the call of the return of Jews, right? But according to prophecy, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, according to
not just that. Prophecy states that when it is that the Lord returned Israel to the land, they say no one have any war anymore. They say the whole world could be at peace. The whole world not at peace.
I'll read something, right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, and we come verse 5. It says, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, Judah shall be saved, right? And Israel shall dwell safely, right? Now, who is the righteous branch? Who? Yahushua, right? So then, this is a prophecy to come, right? So that way it's saying here now, in his days, right? Judah shall be saved. Judah goes into who? You see here, you have the chart here, right? You have the chart here. You have the northern and the southern kingdom, right? So he said, and Israel shall dwell safely. So usually when you see Judah, it will consist of the first 3 tribes you see here, right? And when you hear Israel, it will consist of the others coming down. Because you understand the issue, it's split, right? Who are about this side of the world, you know?
And if you read Ezekiel 37, they also talk about the 2 tribes coming back together as one. You understand? And when it is that they go to land, Ezekiel 37. Yes. Right, when the 2 tribes come back as one. And when they dwell in the land, they will also have their different even say King David will be over them.
King David will be over them.
So who is King David today that he really nobody people across?
Yeah, so it goes to show like when you read the scriptures now and you read when you read that when Israel supposed to dwell in a land, you read it like say when you dwell in a land, you know a particular order things supposed to be in. And it's not like that. So literally those who dwell in there goes against the scriptures. But I'm going to finish up this. It said Judah shall be saved. Is Judah saved right now? Is the so-called Negro saved right now? No, but no, they're not. Not exactly. No, they're not. Is the Benjamin saved right now? No. Is the Haitian saved right now? To the Levite? No. Right?
Even if they want to call themselves those tribes, right now they're getting blown up.
Yep.
Look how much disaster happened to them across the
I'm telling you.
Yep.
So
you ain't giving
So they're not
them
dwelling safely.
yeah.
You ain't giving them that. And what you put your was to bring down to
That was to bring down
Babylon.
yeah. So that goes into what? The 4 beasts. The media Persians.
Yeah.
Right? That was the second beast. Right? After that was Greek, that was the third, and then after that you have Rome. British Rome. Yeah, but that goes into Daniel 2, the statue. You understand? You're right. They say, therefore behold, the days come, said the Lord. Right? So it's in his days Judah shall be saved and Israel shall dwell safely. That's not happening. Right? They say, and this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord of our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed. What? The seed. That's a very important thing as well. Right? The seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. Of where?
The north country.
North country. No, that's what this is about. Alright. Well, actually, I think it about But nonetheless, it says, but the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. Now we understand what I'm going to say here, right? They say the north country. Right? They call it themselves the Israelites on that side. Where they doing right now is the north? No, that is the east. By telling you here, you will save them from where? From the north country that is on this side. America being the mainland, right? So America is where you call your what? The modern day Egypt and modern day Babylon, right? Which Revelation say what? With the spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So let's finish up this, right? They say from out of the north country. That's an important thing because now you understand. But wait, if they're dwelling there already, why would the Lord have to save them from the north country? They say, and from all countries where I had driven them. So now we're telling you that they would be what? From all countries. That means what? They're scattered. James 1:1.
People are scattered.
You are you? Who's scattered? Who's scattered?
Like so, they're all over the place.
Not only thing, but you know, you haven't come back.
Partially, yeah.
So remember, it wasn't just only one thing. Jacob had what? His 4 wives? 2 wives?
12 sons. Yeah, it's 4 wives.
4 wives. 4 wives. Right? So they wouldn't look now. The Eagles from it. Right? That's what he had tried. Right? So that would he kept us still here. that the Messiah will come from where?
Judah.
Judah, the house of Judah. So one time when you hear he come from the house of Judah, and you go into like somebody's description giving him Judah, you know he coming out white.
No blue eyes.
No blue eyes and no long hair. You know? So who's that really risen? You know? Who's that image that is shared today that he risen? He alone here, scripture says that a man not nature except a man not supposed to alone him. That's shame. That's shame. You understand? So it say, let the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all countries where I have driven them, because now you're going to like now the scripture says that Israel scattered. If scattered with the four corners of the earth. It says even in is Ezra 9. Tell you what we want to do, we spread the holy seed. To the fact where at that point in time, they have us to use the is a Euroman term, right? To make a particular decision because they could not. Somebody jigs was there. They didn't know the seed went back. Because all they might have looked like a heathen, but it just was not. That's rough paraphrasing. I could be wrong, but that is what was going on at that point in time. Say, and from all countries where I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. No. See, they will dwell in the what? In their own land. But if you go in Middle East right now, and particularly Israel, them is not Israel. They call themselves the Israelites, right? But they're not the only people dwelling there. So you see, now the scattering, when you hear scattering, that's supposed to take your mind. Were they scattered? No, they was not. If you go back to the history of them, they come from the mountain. Now, particularly, the movement across there come from where? Poland, right? I think the time you and them, I think that you are thing on them and farm, they come from Poland. You understand? Right? So it's just they're not the people. When you look up what is written and so forth, those things fall on a particular people and in them. I got the word.
Isaiah 11, verse 11. It says, it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. All over. It said, and he shall set up an ensign of the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. You understand? So they go have a gathering of all Lord's people, and this is when he comes back. The Lord comes back, he's going to gather all his people.
What's the name of that war, man? The Lord himself will be fighting.
Yes. Armageddon is something else.
That happened.
No, yes, that had to take place. And that is when, what they call Mystery Babylon. The Mystery Babylon is America. It's going to be flat. So when God comes back, that place, right? No. But that place is going to be flat. Huh?
I find this thing cool.
Say it? It's a quote scripture say when you say put the like save those times should be times. So it's supposed to happen now, it's happening rapidly.
You get 27 of them, right?
37. Now you get the highway, you get it.
Yeah.
The charts, you get 37.
Okay, friends,
Yeah.
To the envy also Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
So basically, it's like this. You understand? And there is the kingdom to come. You know? There is really peaceful. You seen any fish right now?
You know when two leaders bumping heads?
Yeah.
And that's been even from since the separation take place when it was torn from Solomon and given to Ephraim.
want to read it for you before you go in. The history now.
History.
Next time, can you just come up? Just come up. Every once in a while, just come up.
Consistent services,
Yeah. But every time you come, so you see like you have a little
you have a house.
zeal. You understand? And that's the importance of doing work. The men like that go on, sir.
I see, you never know who
Yeah, they don't know it.
somebody has to be talking to.
Now we just say, you come on to do the work, you might come on by yourself, come on to brothers, somebody might pass it. You're pretty them that, hey, I didn't hear this today. They might do a video. Once might go, you ain't get no views, but one particular day, you just see one view. And then they start to see a little more, because that's the person that actually want to hear to that point in time. Remember, this is for a random. This is not for everybody, but it's a purpose, it's a reason why you do the work. You know?
And you never know. Sometimes that one view you get, if you your work, a man make up for that. That one view out of it. And your whole mission complete. Your whole mission complete. Can that man go watch your video?
Yeah.
Learn something, say GMS, and then from the other side, you're responsible for that. You responsible to the Lord, you're responsible to create a time video. You never know. And even if nobody ever watch your videos, once your videos out there, your work's still done. The best way is perfect time to watch your work's still done.
But you see, it's all about, even though we say it like that way, just being sincere in yourself. Knowing that what you have to do. You know? Might as well good.
Yeah, I'm on Revelation 2 and Revelation 2 and 13, it's 13:09, so like it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Verse 10, fear none of those things which they shall suffer, which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You know? So we already know that the so-called ones not poor, and them living off the fatness of the earth. And we know nobody can put them into prison, because people who have to be prosecuted for heinous crimes against humanity, where they just run to. That state. And the first state they just run to, and they cannot be extradited to be prosecuted. You know what I mean? So nobody can cast them into prison right now. So clearly we know that they, you know what I mean, they are not the ones we speaking of. You know, they are not the ones pertaining to no prophecy revolving around the true Jews or the true Israelites. They just, as you better say, occupying a space for a time, more or less. Yeah. We call it squatting. I'm just squatting. We call it squatting. I would agree, right? We squatting.
And them ready embodiments, mentality of mystery Babylon. They just ready. It's true, yeah, America, let's take like that, but more the elites, they just ready take like, hey, I will be a lady forever. So them is ready the embodiment of that, but just the vibration trickle down to America. That is struggle.
And that is why when they shoot down the Manhattan, he say we got to say, oh, you didn't tell them to work out that shooting. Because why? Nobody never shoot down my jet. Nobody. Only going mad or nah, he not taking that.
And it's so powerful, they control both sides. So no matter which side go down,
They still
always
win.
have it in their mind that, because them, they just like go ask you here. Them is the ones pulling strings on the physical side. So they still have it in the mind that whether Russia win, whether America win, we still win.
Yeah.
You understand?
Everything on the past 2 weeks.
I say so they ready the embodiment of that mindset. Like I will be I will never know loss. Because everything I own.
Because Sam said it well, not touch. But remember what it was.
I really want to say I'm there, let me trouble like that. But the Lord didn't say the Lord didn't disappoint them. Even David pray about it, I said disappointed. And that is not going to happen. They're going to be disappointed. And the Lord will not, the Lord is ready to argue by it. He doesn't make it in a way that Men this close. Men this close to compete in the enterprise.
Yeah,
you know, like you running a
When they
race.
sit to eat, you go upset them or something like that.
You know, just your spoon right to your mouth, and somebody else so and bat the spoon out your mouth. You're hungry. That what happened to them. They're gonna be so close to actually fulfilling their ultimate goal, and it all just gone pop up, and they even had contingency plans put in place for that. That's why you talk about the holes in the cliffs and the rocks and so forth. Thinking to themselves that worst case scenario, you will go down in the holes and launch missiles up in the sky, and all them things will still be able to. Imagine you had like 10 backup plans and none will work. I'll be surprised by you or something.
In Job 5 and 12 it say, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh their wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
And because them fools so feel the wise, them really foolish. Scripture said even somebody so is foolish, just for the Most High. They believe to themselves that they can upset prophecy. Like you know, like how they always show you in their movies, and then you'll see the robot, and the robot could become more advanced than the creator, and he will eventually surpass the master. Like Esau think that he could be able to accomplish a feat like that. And in the physical realm, that by itself even hard to do because the AI has limits. AI is something that is learned. You understand? I have learned through interaction. AI don't have like a creative mind, so to speak.
Interface, it have a human interface to it.
I like to be able to learn things. AI not self-learning to the extent that you put it on an island and you go learn how to peel out how to crack coconuts, and no, it is learned from your interactions and copying you more or less. You understand? But Esau is always trying to paint that narrative, like if he could eventually surpass, you know, like you see the anime sometimes, a man will become so OP that he, like, you see them, let's call them the thing I give everybody go on with special powers. I forget what it's called, but them ICP and them. Go against, they go against special powers, and they now go end up becoming so OP that they're going to be able to fight against the same god who gave me powers in the first place. That don't work. That don't work here. Like it had no level ups you could do that you max out and you eventually become equal with your version of your shine. It don't work that way. Right?
As I mentioned in that, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, and I read from verse 1. It said, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, and the seas go back to what? To people, right?
Just like in Revelation when they say the waters refer to the people. Many waters.
God, saying the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God.
And I say this represents Esau today. When you look at Nebuchadnezzar, he passed and he pride that represents Esau now. When you look at Tyrus, all them representations is examples of how Esau is right now. Esau take up all them different negative attributes, not the positive ones, you know. It has positive attributes and negative attributes, and Esau pick up all the negative attributes. That's why scripture refer to him as what spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Pick up all the negative attributes throughout time and just max them out. You understand? That's why I say what they call them the border wickedness. They can't be backy. The black tape and black tape on this call this thing, but it is you do hockey show. Yeah. The black tape tormenting the monsters and like that. Esau just max everything out. Take everything negative and max it out. You see the alphabet boys in the past. You want to max that out. You want to really cut off genitals and create things that was even made in the first place. Just max out OP. Huh?
They give them a date. They give them a month. Yeah, they give them a month. They give them a state.
This is the month.
A literal. Nah, it's not even that.
It's
June or July, somewhere lower down.
Yeah, March.
Yeah, because I think it was supposed to Black History Month too. Yeah, it might be March. But nevertheless, you know, you're promoted, you're police, I think you do.
Max out everything, max it out.
Yeah. I would say they work with nicotine. Because of the nicotine, that was like you mentioned King David, I would say the same from the workers of what?
Of iniquity.
That's what it is good.
They take abominations, set it on high, they take abominable food and make it delicacy. They make it the most expensive thing anyway. To strive to now, to strive to be able to eat abominable food. Like when you work, you get a little pay, say, but I go treat myself. I go eat. Again, I feel like I eat a whole roast a hog head. You know? This way I could do some crispy skin pork belly. I could eat a seafood boil.
Red lobster.
I watch that. And then the seafood boil. All the seafood is bottom feeder. No? It's crayfish, it's shrimp, it's just bare bottom feeders. You know? Bare cockroach and you see the heat.
That is why you see the vagabonds, they're more healthy and because they don't eat.
Them can't afford
What,
shrimp to eat.
yeah, what the ordinary man striving to eat.
Yeah, the bombs go live long.
I say when you see the turning of things upside down.
God.
People don't even understand what is good and what is bad in this place. I see how messed up the place is. Live in a time where our woman think walking in our two pieces is being hot. You understand? Men thinking that being soft is being good.
They agree. But you know this weekend, when I get her watch it on television, she said, you see all these girls going on the lingerie out and to the party and thing? You know? She said, I look, she said, nah man. Tell man, she said, nah man, they don't get outside. But they see that when they see it, those things like, it comes from coming out, it will become, you know?
No, and it develop over time because back in the day, you would now in that car party, you'd have still do one of our fans because that was the thing. But as the religions with gradualism, less and less, make you more and more humiliate yourself out there. You understand?
Start with the beach and then escalate and all our indoctrination, things like Baywatch. That you groom the people to think that is the way to dress in these environments. And you just keep going with it until eventually they just painting on under. They didn't even underwear, they're painting on something and putting a star.
And they indoctrinate the women to think like men to think like women. So when you see a woman just like, you know what I mean, unbecoming, and you approach her, you know what I mean, because you look at unbecoming, so you can only have unbecoming thoughts and needs from her. You know, she offended. But if you're walking down the road and see a man in a policeman uniform, your first thought is what? It's a police officer, right? You're walking down the road and you see a man in a fireman uniform, your first thought is, hey, there's a fireman. So if you're walking down the road and see a woman in a whole uniform, what's your first thought?
Did Dave Chappelle make a skit like that?
Yeah, so
You want to say, man, actually, how much? You say, just because I'm dressed like a woman does not mean I am one.
Yeah.
So that would be like me walking down the road in the police uniform, like, officer, look, just because I'm dressed like a police officer. You understand?
Exactly. Really? So they say, don't wear nothing and go away. And when a man approach you, make him feel bad for approaching it because you're looking like that. You know? Well, you go in the jungle now, right? And you tell a lion, you is not lunch. Right, what will you do? Tell a lion, no, I'm a human, I'm not lunch. And see what will happen.
But it's two different scenarios. You can't know your first. You understand? Like we wouldn't, as a man, if you know you're going in a meeting, you wouldn't wear a short pant.
You're dressed to suit.
You dress a suit.
You're coming out to the work, so how about dress code for that?
The reason why the attire is so important. The reason why the Lord tell you that a man is supposed to pertain to a woman. It's a reason these things are important.
Women are suggesting modest apparel. You understand? So have a certain way that you're supposed to carry yourself.
No matter, they can say what they want. It doesn't natural like over and stuff. Like if you walk on the road, right? You see a woman weighing on a provocative shoe, right? Your first one comes to your mind is
exactly.
I'm a 200, man.
Yeah.
So she might, but again,
You're dressed to promote that, so you get mad that I are dressing you the way you dress, based on your appearance.
But that's how they are the brokenness in society.
God.
They think that is the normal way to dress because that is what they were taught.
I example that is that is if I come on home I leave him go back open on my shoes over the bush. And I see a Jake fishes down, pull long here, white vest. I don't know things. I don't know my eye on you.
Hold my pockets.
Yeah, I don't my hand ready to swing. Yeah. If there's a particular attack. There is anything about it. There might some a particular way.
But that is the reality of the situation.
That's how those people as usually dress.
Yeah, you wouldn't find a man in a suit or a soft pants and a shirt coming to
And
run.
that is where the statement comes with. That the men who is going to roadblock, the men who is only just a guy, the men who dress up then. So that's the purpose of why these things happen.
Black clover.
My brother actually got arrested because he was dressed like that.
Yeah.
And a situation play up and the woman saying down next to him, because he said on the single aisle in the maxi by the window, and the woman tell a young lady on a double seat opposite from him. And he realized, well, wait, you went to high school with me, so then get into talking. So when the police had to shoot the man in the maxi and he run out and he dead, when he tried to run the maxi and got a plane was police in the maxi. The police officer telling my brother you was with him. My brother said, you shot I come in and the girls on the same say, no, he was with them. And they say, hey, you wash your mouth. Because why? Dress, careful down, 3/4. No, you have a point. Because if the police are not saying it's you, at that time, you go in on your own beat. Your mother send you to do something.
I remember.
Say what if you don't want to be judged by your looks, you need to change the way you present yourself.
Exactly.
And that is what it is. No, people will say, well, you're not supposed to, the Lord say he don't judge by the appearance and thing, but there's a reason why he tell you, there's a reason why he set up certain things to be that, hey, here we're going on. I'll be able to avoid confusion. So when he tell you, here we're going on, a man's supposed to look, hey, that's why I said the elders tell you, you come to do the work, make sure you're foot clean. You understand? Make sure that your clothes thing, make sure you're looking. You don't need to come and look at, yeah, we know we're really rich, I think, but at least come and look presentable.
Yeah, you have to tell like, you know what I mean?
Like the sun.
Even in the law, you say what a man should not wear that because a woman, neither should a woman wear a man's garments.
So,
A woman is supposed to have long hair. It's a shame for a man to have long hair. You're not going to watch somebody from a distance and confuse that individual. In this society, you might see a man walking,
it's like a
and you can't tell sometimes if it's a man or woman that's coming.
It's what's his name? Junior Adam. You can't go on if you wear Jerry Curls. You can't go on if you wear Jerry Curls. You know that's kind of way because why? You're not Romans 12 and 1. You know what I mean? Make thy body a living sacrifice.
In that same song, what you say, as it was written,
So,
in
yeah,
the book of life,
in the book of life.
as it was written. The reason why, certain things we do. Hey, it's every single time, hey, you gotta watch it like this. When the Lord tell you not to do something, and then you really want to look up why he tell you not to do this, you get understand. Yeah, like, whoo, yeah. Lord really say not to do this, and this is the reason why. When he tell you, well, you can do this, and then you really go into the depths of why you can do it, yeah, but hey, I see what the Lord say, good faith. And in good faith, not only on one angle, but all different angles as well. You understand?
All of it works in perfect harmony.
Yep, that's right.
It's like what the avatar system used to work. You understand? All nature was working in harmony and used to. And when men come to pick it up, then when things started working, I think, Lord give me an order, and that order so it works in harmony with all the other things. Even the shade pertaining to like the different mixed fabrics and so forth.
Yeah, or you just play with your arm. Or just play with your arm. The energy. Some fabric is helium.
Yeah.
You understand? Some fabric is higher feeling negative. Guys, put all these things seriously.
And when you mix it, it's a different outcome. And all of these things, it's set a certain way, and that's why you see the world so out of force. You understand? The harmony that was now it's set.
Not harmony. Somebody bright eyed was saying, nah, them look like they want democracy.
It was an idea. It wasn't an idea. It wasn't a bright one.
You know them look like they want democracy.
Say, I can bring up a little cartoon.
Oh,
Onto the financial attack.
Yeah.
He saw attack.
boy, my word.
Everything's set to work a certain way, and that's why the whole world the way it is.
Can't.
Not even function the way it's supposed to function. Even the animals and all, not even function as supposed to function, like everything chaotic.
Yeah, hey,
And they just run on basic instinct. Them have no cognition
They
at
have
all.
order. No, literally, them have what we talking about.
Exactly. A basic instinct.
What do
You do what you have to do. And watch me, they so base is that, alright, if you use a shrimp, you just live on the bottom of the ocean and eat your only appetite is for, you know what I mean, waste.
They can tell
You know what I mean? You don't ever feel that, I wonder how a fish does this. You don't bite that piece of, which I thought, no. You know what I mean? But it have the one you call the pistol shrimp now. That, armed with whatever thing it is,
Yeah, no,
hit them
but
with
different guys,
supersonic air or whatever, and that's what eat fish because that's what that designed to do. Whereas the rest is like, I just call them the cockroach and no shrimp.
But a shrimp.
Yeah, the pistol shrimp. Yeah.
This the way saying that, it's like I was watching something, and I believe it's the mother of the animal died, right? And it's a baby, so the baby itself didn't have anybody to teach it. And but the baby of the animal and going big and learn how to do certain things, right? And somebody was like, but wait, if it didn't but in them, it's the same way like when you come out, right? And you said the girl, oh, and he's a man, you're not going to watch another man. So you like in here, just in here, like.
And our vibes.
But we doesn't know the same way. It's say a law unto yourself, but that's why they say what they say. When you're trying to be teachers, you need to one teach you idea. Even though we might have an idea, we would know. Like an animal would know that is a predator, run. Like nobody had to teach you that. But we will see a lion and go and pet it. You understand?
Not we, brother.
No, let's say as a child.
Yeah.
As a child. Let's say as a child. You had to be taught that
do not put a fork in the socket.
You understand?
Yeah, do not do that. And being a child, you go still gonna do it and you will get balance.
Right.
Your mother and them will it here.
So they have more of an instinctive way, while we have
You have a point, yeah.
We have more of a teaching process.
You have to get it.
You understand? We have more of a teaching and trial and error process.
As a man once say, should not say. You have to get it.
You understand? What we did, yeah.
No, I want to bring something here quickly before I go. This come out about, let me just say about 14 minutes ago. Trump opened the effing straight, you crazy bastard, or you will be living in hell. Just watch. You understand? So this goes into what we say and expect. So we know Sadov's talking about things and this week they're going to open the straight. So tomorrow, you see I'm bluff on that.
Right, should we just wait for Mondays to come to see what will happen?
Every Friday we're looking forward to one.
No, can you see how we're doing it is because of the market, the stock
Yeah,
market.
yeah.
He playing with the stock market. So it's a reason why he don't attack Fridays, he don't attack until the stock market close. And on Monday, he don't attack before after it is attacked after it opens.
Inflation, of course.
Yeah.
So it's always open good and close good.
Yeah. So it always is, but as stock market people say, even one of his right hand men come and say about that manipulation of the market, and eventually the truth will come out. You will probably no more. The signs will show that you're going on. Inflation. I believe it's the end of this month. I think they say once you work on the new, inflation will raise by 4%. That's a big jump.
Right
On
now,
the grand scale, it will sound like a little bit in digits, but when you think of things on the greater scale or the bigger picture, as they say, yeah, that's all right.
Gas is $4 in America right now.
So when that 4%, when the 4% hit at, and the dollar devalue more because that's what inflation does is drop the value of your dollar, gas might hit about 8. That when you go see people lighting gas station on fire.
Right now, I just see some people complaining about that.
And them complaining for $4. Again, how much
because I weigh because remember as I remember years ago, even before all these things started to go down, probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago, the ratio was that most American citizens are in some kind of debt. Whether it be credit card debt, whether it be student loan debt.
Yeah, and the majority is student loan, let me be real, because
most households.
Yeah, because why? Just like down here, we have a different system. Just like down here, you grow up, you go to school, you have a good job, life will be easy. No, everybody here that growing up, though, everybody. So when you go to school now, alright, I'll go to college, pick up majors, and let's say, basically, whatever you want to be trained or specializing. That costs money. And you know what they tell you? Take a loan for books. take a loan for your living expenses while you're going to college. No problem. What they don't tell you is the interest rate so high on it is that by the time you graduate and start to work, and by the time you pay off the interest alone, not even the amount borrowed, you understand? As I say, take a 40 million and it goes so easy.
Not just that.
You understand?
The promise that they just give you is that when it is you do get a job, you'll be able to pay it off. But already I'm sure a lot of people
In your lifetime, that what I say, in your lifetime.
No, but the studying for degrees that they're not even going to be using. Some people studying for some real idiotic degrees that it don't really have much fee.
To be honest with you, majority are, they have a word for it, but I forget. Right? The majority are things that have degrees for. When you leave school, they have no job for it. You have no job market for it. You understand? You see, everything has become AI. The best thing right now is trade. Learn a trade.
The computer science right now is the worst degree to get. Computer science, worst. And before it was promoted as the best.
As the top, yeah.
And they knew that, you know.
Yeah.
They planned that, so they're going to make you study 5 years to be able to get that, and then you just going to be in debt, and you can't be able to pay off that debt.
Correct.
So they come like they set them up. They set you up to put yourself in debt, knowing that you would not be able to get something in that field because programmers becoming obsolete. Right, except for the real crackshot ones. For the real crackshot ones, you can't really get rid of them just so.
No. They're a stretch of society. We need to keep them busy. Keep them busy, brother. Them will go in the bank and just pull them out.
Yeah, they can't get rid of them. Like Anonymous and them, and them, you can't get rid of them.
Why the government agencies does personally hire them.
Yeah, you need
when
them.
them get convicted of a crime, they say, oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
You could serve your time
Or take this deal.
or work for us.
Yeah.
So, you know, I go take the walk for
Yeah, them, but the normal little peons on them, you don't need them.
studying it because they see it on TV and they like that, and you know, I like it.
You gotta be Rimuru Tempest level and them kind of things already. Because that means the men the ones to them. The men the ones is the real high technicians. You want to do little workmen, and everybody else more or less obsolete to them.
Yeah, the time
You
I was
understand?
reincarnated as a hacker.
Everybody else going to be useless eaters. That's what they're going to refer to them as, useless eaters. They're not going to serve no real purpose in society because what the robots can do,
Them would be able
technicians
to.
and the other little peons that they have to do it. So everybody externally, like the old people and like NIS and old age
What's with
pensions,
severance and them now?
are useless eaters in their eyes. That is money that they don't need to spend to keep you alive.
Hemorrhaging money.
And that's why you see them right now. Only ones that come and get come and get your shots. Come and get your shots to stay alive. Come and get your shots.
I think basically they say about 10 managers in Wasa get the trade bus.
They need to go for sure.
Yeah.
With one job.
Why just right
And you see it happening worldwide. I know I read an article to come on and talk about when people thought that the lower class people are getting replaced first with AI. You see even the middle class, like certain managerial positions and things. My co-worker the other day, a man went for an interview and an AI interview him.
Hey,
An AI interview.
whatever for like when you pay a bill.
Yeah,
Automated. Automated one time. No operator.
Yeah. Sometimes if it is that they can't help you, they'll let the operator, but in most cases, AI, so that you don't know, plenty operators don't get the access already, and there are people remaining that they just keep on board in case while the AI is still being perfected. But the better it gets is the more workers, the less workers you'll need. Eventually, until you reach the point where you don't need them workers in that field anymore.
So
Because the AI is still learning.
and that's going to create even greater government dependency. That is
And
going
that's
to
what I
cause
want.
the need for the UBI,
That is what I want.
the MOTV. Because they go say, yeah, we're going on, we understand the plight of our citizens, XYZ, blah, 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 UBI, blah, 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 in order to get the UBI, blah, 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 take the MOTV, and stuff.
And again,
And welcome to the digital city.
And again, the government is not going to feed 7 billion.
Correct.
Not, that is a useless eater. 6+ billion people. That's why the Georgia guys say maintain humanity under 500 million. The rest of them people outside of that number not useful.
But how long after?
And 500 million might sound like plenty, yeah, but compared to
Compared to
7 billion.
It's really 8 billion. Because 7 point something when I was at time. Let me say it,
So,
man.
but between 8 and 9,
Closer
I
to
think
it.
it's right now. 8 and 9,
Yeah, it's so bad.
it's not a lot. And the world is a big place. The world is a real big place. So 500 million. Feel our music and beauty in my spirit. Yeah, so you don't see what is going on.
See when you move going,
God.
you see how much you go be in a excursion bus.
They go one to learn that. But 2 days could be.
No, not them.
Huh?
Carolina.
I don't know. You went to massage it some
But
but
yeah.
yeah. That's it. That when they go want to. Like when they go want to be interested in finding out what is happening, but 2 days could be right.
I believe last week I was reading an article where it said that the world population consuming water too fast now, boy.
No. Yeah, I see that article, right? But I'm not sure how each of the spirit it's not the world. It's actually the data centers and the AI. So what is
How much water AI does have to use
people
to
go
stay
ask, well, how the AI doing it? The data centers itself, there's how to suck water to run. You understand?
The coolest system.
The coolest system.
They need,
So
Like
them
a
things-
radiator.
them computers actually inside water. And the water has be boiling sometimes because it gets so hot now, man.
Like a radiator system.
Something like that.
So
And they said that consuming just as much water.
They say that could feed like
More.
one not a week but like 2 days AI operation could run a small city or something or
Yeah.
like 100 and something families week worth of water that using up in 2 days. Something like that.
So see that comes with what Easter has been teaching that the world overpopulated or that work can run its own. It's how you run it. That's what the laws will say. If we used to do things right, just like this, things will have crops will have grow, things. That is, you see, the fact that Easter in charge, they had the world going extinct. Animals, land, plants don't want to grow. I watched a documentary like this weekend. Firefly, remember Firefly? Yeah, the insect. It's flying the evening time. Remember up by me. Man, you get every time you come to the evening time, you just see fireflies. Now you can't even see one.
You know when I say fireflies?
I was telling you.
Not a butterflies. You don't see them, so
I was telling you.
you don't see
I
butterflies.
watch a video, I bumps up a video sometime when you talk about a firefly that is blinking whatever rhythm that the record is not a regular one, it's a different breed.
Yeah.
And it's blinking a certain rhythm to attract the males now. It's like a female mating.
Yeah.
And then eat them.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know about it. It's like a true. Butterflies, fireflies. Let's see a caterpillar. No, butterfly.
People are something rare. Most of the countryside.
See that?
It's rare, really rare. And that just shows you how the state of the goods.
Only getting is rat, cockroach, and pigeon.
Yeah, scavengers.
Yeah.
Never see more durable ones, so they must live long and multiply quick.
And that's why reason I get afterwards. So when it's really and truly, it's not bad. You know the water, but it's what you saw have paid up.
But you so tell them what? Cockroach milk.
Yeah, cockroach milk good.
Good for you.
And horseshoe crab blood could cure cancer.
I
It's the only thing. It's the only
I
thing.
get out of here.
Horseshoe. Horseshoe crab. That's the only
Yeah. I hear the name already.
You know, kabuto. Kabuto is from but I just trying to show you something. The horseshoe crab is a crab with a big shell around it too.
Yeah.
It's like a horseshoe. And you just have all the thing, like a sharp one. You did a horseshoe. Okay,
Yeah, no. I don't know horseshoe, but I don't know the horseshoe crab.
Let's go.
But I said that blood could cure cancer.
So the blue one, it has some nitrogen oxide inside of it or something like that.
I mean, let's
This man paying big-hearted people and things, man.
I know what, but that is great.
I have to go by.
I know who that's
let's
it.
Burger King sell us millions of burgers a day. And they have millions of cows to get them things. Them could say anything but and them promoting it as beef.
That?
Yeah.
That looking more like a stingray kind of.
Yeah, but
Like
it's
chip, chip.
a crab. It's a crab.
Looking more like a stingray.
So that's how it look underneath. Right? So they say that only thing. I was watching something else now with a pig. They put the pig on top of the thing and they using the something they using the pig to inject inside of you and it goes so far into your system with whatever chemicals that are curing cancer. You know, it's always that pig. It's always that swine.
Because that when you read scriptures, that is more or less labeled as, even though all are abominable, swine was always like the go-to.
Thing.
It was always the go-to. Like even when if like swine flesh, the Isaiah, the Maccabees is always swine. And I say they just always look for the most abominable thing
To do.
and that is be there for front.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. Then we do this one, yeah.
You know, they're not supposed to
Because
eat
you
pork.
know that thing, you know.
What near the bacon? You should try.
And then you set jigs up to perpetuate it and make it popular.
Yeah, they take the one day for the year.
Bring
I
on
know
the
one
arm.
when I'm like,
Yeah, you bring it.
the one day for the year that is supposedly, you know what I mean, commemorating the Messiah. What is the main dish? Oh, big.
Again, I say that there's just perpetuate that wickedness. So Esau don't have no excuse. Esau have no excuse. If they were already as righteous as they tried to portray themselves, they would at least try to do something.
Yeah, I don't know about that podcast in these spots.
That you think? A wicked man is a wicked man.
Yeah.
You understand?
We watched another precept at anything that was straightened up. Go ahead, I'm good. I'll go good.
Can I make it look as I was on TV?
Was that before or right after that? There was like 3 verses there. I thought that's really interesting. This thing now.
That one first or what?
Go ahead.
These are 2nd and just 15 and start from 14. They say, woe to the war and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction during night. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And we see it now on 2 different levels. Because you end up seeing that from a nation to nation perspective, and even inter-nation perspective, like you call like civil war and so forth. So you have it from place to place, and also in places you have people fighting against each other. In the apostles talk about they talk about some movie and say when you say you're American, what kind of American are you? You understand? Like the kind of thing that's gonna be going on. They're gonna be inter-fighting with each other. Ready for that?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, inter-fighting with each other. That's something you're going to be seeing also. Scriptures talk about second and just talk about the lack of bread. You understand? All these different things going on towards people, whether it be based on beliefs, picking sides, or just based on survival. You're going and see people fighting against each other. Right? These are things that are prophesied to happen. And there will be teach these things. One, we have to understand these things to prepare ourselves, but we also have to warn the people of the imminent danger that is to come. So they know how to prepare themselves also. That would go back to being our brother's keeper.
I have it. Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered.
Esau is not straight. He wasn't meant to be straight. I remember he alluded to that.
Habakkuk 2, the spirit that is in him is not upright.
Yeah, right. Ella Rocha, probably make a video about that.
Yeah.
In the past, he talk about things that are unclean through circumstance and things that are inherently unclean. Like Israel is a natural clean people. We could be made unclean through circumstances,
right,
but we are naturally inherently clean. Esau is inherently unclean. You cannot clean that. No matter what you wash it with and the sun goes down and
Come like you're trying to wash dirt.
Yeah.
You're trying to wash dirt to make it clean.
Another example is swine.
It can't be clean.
You understand? No matter what you do to swine, you cannot make it clean. It's inherently unclean.
It is abominable.
I remember a co-worker was telling me he minding pigs now. So I was asking, I said, out of all the animals, why you choose to mind pig? I was telling them how unclean it is and it's what causing sicknesses in people and things. And he said, but I feed them my pigs grass. Them
Grass,
any,
yeah,
them,
yeah, 100%,
yeah,
right.
them clean.
See, you realize too that is the quickest form of an animal to sell.
And I'm not going to say the demand.
The only animal that sell more than pig is chicken.
No, I was saying when chicken prices was high for the last 2 years, when chicken was sky high, like pork was the cheapest meat, like
Pork was the cheapest meat.
dog cheap buy. You understand? It is the demand.
And it could because
But again,
it
you
was
can't.
It was that dog.
It's true. But you can't go and tell a fisherman he fish for you wrong. You're gonna tell the fisherman, hey, that fish.
There are some people, you talk about swine and they quicker leave off chicken than they leave off swine. Like, so,
I know man about what I mean.
I think that the only animal where the entire body, you know,
Chicken and thing. You tell the chicken and thing. I don't want to say, I alone I eat that pork, that swine. I said, that way I like it.
I'm thinking about one.
Daytime,
I will
like
not say,
soaking.
exercise, you know, swine.
Yeah, and it's more people that you say, yeah, actually here say them.
That's where the strong delusion comes in. I remember talking to a guy about that at work. And you know what he say? His grandfather and his father used to eat swine and nothing happened to them. That is the delusion. God put them a delusion because they don't get no direct effect of
Grandfather and
it.
father, so
Yeah, apparently, I think so.
I skip
But
that
it has happened that way.
Skip that because sentence against a evil work.
Because nothing can happen to them at the point. They're not going to look at it it's like smoking. There's some people, there's live long. I had a grandmother, a great grandmother. You know how long she lived smoking? I think 90 something. Huh? No, but some people get cancer.
No. Don't get me wrong. It does.
Yeah.
It does. Right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not disputing that.
In most cases, people will get negative effects. But there are the few.
Your lungs not made to take that. There's a
But I wanna say-
negative
but I
effect
wanna say,
period.
Because some people that get away with it for a long period
Exactly.
of time, they just look at
That's
those
like
people
it, you
as
know?
the standard.
Look, there's someone did some thing, they do a study on the C19 and they say smokers is the only sect or group of people that they didn't contract it at all. You see that they didn't contract it, and when they did contract it, the symptoms was very minimal. You understand? And then he move on to say, a green tomato, I'm more nicotine than this and the other, and I like, dog, really? You really come to justify smoking or like that? Out of all the things you can research, no brother. Out of everything is that possible under the sun to research, right? You decide to fucking justify smoking.
That is ridiculous.
What?
You finish it off?
Yeah. No, it was just 1 verse 15.
Say verse 15 verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Sedition among men. Sedition is what? Inciting. Basically inciting riots against the ruling power. You know what I mean? We will see these things happening more because as I said, the farming is, you think people really want to stay home hungry and they know the government it's $1 billion that they already spending to fucking bomb our country for nothing. And all they can't feed we. Sorry, they will and now, at least in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a very laid back. Or is it without all convenient? Just let me read that. A man raised gas 3 times in a year and nobody has seen it.
But I think,
Nobody has seen it.
no. You see, when
Men will rob and steal and loot before they actually riot and burn down your house. I am being real. We do not have that in you.
That usually be like a last kind of.
Yeah, and I talk about extreme.
You see, the good thing is,
It's original.
the good thing is, we know that they're gonna have spirits acting up.
Huh.
Them spirits will not be causing men to do things.
No, I'm
that
not saying
we
nobody else they go pelt a big stone through the glass or nothing.
Judas spirit.
But on the level of how America is having with
Yeah, that's different. Them is riot for everything. Like
Boy.
France, yellow jackets right through.
Exactly.
You talk to somebody too long, yellow jackets. Them,
Exactly.
I remember,
But it's not around every week France having a protest. You
So
understand?
it's places
We here, we have it nice. We don't go through that.
Yeah.
Let them do what they want now.
Yeah, they
Bro,
don't
the
sign.
country,
Yeah,
how the
don't
country
sign.
go on? The country locked down. Well, the country has to open back. Nice to get up in convenience.
I remember a few years ago, chicken in the States would raise, I think, by 25 cents or 10 cents.
Stop the chicken.
And they stop eat
Yeah, they
chicken.
lock up chicken rotten on the fucking.
Them different. Them
I'm not playing that.
Them different across the
You
year.
understand? So that's sedition, what they're talking about. We have already seen instances of it. You know what I mean? Look when it was nothing wrong. When they run in the president house and take people and cooking and bathing in the pool and things like that, there wasn't a drug. A serious famine is Iraq or someone in them Arabian countries. You understand?
In Mexico, a governor promised them something, and when he
didn't deliver.
The tie the man feet a van and drag him in.
Yeah.
Drag him in.
But in we country, we prime minister say the previous government doubled what do you call it? It's not tax income. Traffic fines. You understand, to make revenue, and she come and triple it. You understand?
Oh.
Nobody do nothing.
Not only traffic fine, but mostly all the fines.
No, well, it's traffic fines.
Whether you're paying for taxes and thing to double it.
No, but I just talking
like
about what I know
whatever,
about.
yeah,
I just talking about what I know.
All that double.
Yeah.
You know? I just talking about what I know about.
NIS going up twice the amount.
All the way up. Going up. Say, when there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, they go stand in their own power. You know what? They will do whatever they deem fit to do to survive or get what they want basically.
Men
So
in
if,
police.
yeah, if they feel like you're going on, you see that convenience. So over there I go in India and I need shoes, survival thing, solar powered, and they had them breaking in there some way somehow. Get what the other guy go the way. They make care who they, if it's a police jeep park up here. It is once they done deem it fit to do it and they able, they will do it.
I'm not telling somebody that I remember in 1992. Back in those times, I get stories about it. Back in that time, people could have riots alongside each other. So, let me say if you went in a store and there was looted, you would loot, they would loot, and they wouldn't necessarily hunt down each other. They would leave you to loot with yours, and they would take their one and go with
You take what you take, I take what I
take.
take.
Well, you're more united.
Now we watch what you take and say, pick up this quick one, we go and get what you take.
Yeah, what's going on?
You got the key and take it.
It's my store. Go somewhere else. Like that kind of mindset they know. You can't have no share. You cannot get on
The store is not enough for both of you, brother.
That was a commercial about caring and sharing. None of that. None of that. They got that is minds. Like the kind of attitude they go have. Verse 17 is saying, man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And you'll see that on many different levels. One level, they might have controlled environments where they're locking off borders. They can't be able to go.
Into the digital city, the quick cities now, like the 50-minute cities. Now the reason they're building it like that is if it is in the 15-minute cities, everything is less than 15 minutes away from one point, from any point in the city. So you have no need for a vehicle. You know what I mean? Then they go label it as a green city because less carbon emissions. And you know E.S.O.T.E does paint, man. He's a good painter. Look what Da Vinci do. You know what I mean? He's a good painter. Right?
I go also have situations where, let me say, like you might want to go in the next place, but because of the disaster in that place, men getting on bad across there, you can't.
Disaster.
You don't even want to.
You don't have the papers to go. You don't have the MOTV, so you don't get clearance.
No, not just that.
Oh,
I mean, in the sense that, like, remember, if men and you gonna riot, then you don't want to really travel to certain places. You try to stay away from certain places.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, so you limited to where you can even go, because you're afraid to go.
Because we have plethora issues. Why a man wouldn't be able to go in there?
Yeah, you got different reasons why men don't want to be going.
They might have to get somewhere and have to pass through there and say, boy, how I can't go to that.
You see a woman in chains, like Boca Eli, and two men waiting to chop you up because they're looking for food. You understand? It will be different in that time. Now let me say, look away.
Like when they get went to the house by the old people,
look away.
and the preacher and they was going to shoot the goal and she. In Boca Eli with the girl, and she went to the house with the old people.
The old people.
Yeah,
I got downstairs.
I wish she train people and killing them and eating them.
Man, listen, like,
Yeah, the woman thing to eat now when it's human cheating. And the guy watching, she like, oh, you even question nothing, you just fucking. How come the two oldest people in this town that barren and going through a job have food? Think about it. If they had food, everybody else would have come and deal with them because they're old.
And the sharing.
And the sharing. and there's nothing else wrong for
No,
months.
what
Something
that?
I don't know. Because you like, when she went in the house, and they had to run through the back door. Yeah. Yeah, that they come out with a big box shot, it's kaboom. Door run shutter. Yeah, son? And as they say, all these things are preludes to what society will be.
They know. They know what happened.
You know what I mean? They did every little thing that happened is basically a test to see how the people will react for the real event. You know what I mean? So the Lego the C19, so here we're going on shutter. We're locking down. Nobody has said nothing. Due to the fact that this and the easily transmitted air thing, this, that, the other, we locking down. Right? Nobody has questioned it, we take that. So here we're going on. In order to survive, you gotta take this juice. No problem, they take it. They say here we're going on, one is not enough. You gotta come again to be shot. They went back.
Very good stuff.
You understand? And after all that, they said, no, even though you do that and take the boosters, you can still get it, but don't worry. They did not say you would survive now, no. After the first rounds, they stopped saying you would survive. They say there is a chance, right? You would get it to know, but there's a greater chance of you surviving. So now, you're sure to survive now, but 70-30. Before it was 60-40, now it's 70-30.
The booster boost on the other side.
The next
Correct.
defense
And the
was that
opposite
they
side.
use that to manipulate the untakers. So they check it in a way that, alright, cool. You could still get from other people who
Who
don't
get
have it.
it. So now they
that
create
was
these
trying to
versions.
turn you against the people who
Yeah.
was down to the cause. You understand? So it was a whole manipulation tactic.
And so now they
And it
know.
worked.
Now they know.
It worked.
Now they know they were going on. If you tell them they had to take this MOTV, then go take it with these. If they take something that they even know about, you know what I mean? 4 years down the line, all of a sudden we have turbo cancers. I never hear about that in my lifetime. Turbo cancer, I could have never known you could have put the word turbo in front of cancer until after that. Turbo, what is that turbo cancer?
Just in the past 5 years alone, you see young athletes just falling down and dying.
At least by people, news anchors,
Yeah.
athletes, anybody?
That was
Security officers who just saying down in the post, bet because why? The juice up, and it, you know what I mean? You put that juice in there and your juice run out. That is all.
And all this under Esau master rulership, where he is like the greatest ruler ever, and his kingdom is the greatest kingdom that ever existed. And that's what happening right now. It is the sickest kingdom that ever existed.
God.
Right now, it have more diseases and more illnesses than ever before. Under his rulership.
Everything it degenerate.
And he doing a beautiful job.
The phenomenal
So,
action.
yeah, because really and truly, he
In-
is the example
in
of
his
how not to
opinion.
be.
In his opinion.
No, in general, in the sense that like, he is the perfect example of how not to be. Remember, he had to be the perfect example of a terrible ruler for we to come and for we to be the perfect examples of perfect rulers.
He is the example of wickedness.
Yeah. And we going to be right now people getting to experience what it is like to
Nah.
live under a terrible Lord.
Nah.
And
Yeah, not just a terrible ruler, but wickedness on the whole.
Yeah.
This is what wickedness look like.
so when we touch down Abaratiza, people going and see how shit really supposed to
How
run.
righteousness would feel like.
Yeah. How when you're actually wise and how the world's supposed to function, people all this going to be in memories. So people go and know how it used to be. And they go and know how it is now. And they go and look at it like, I would have been watching like, is this the man? Well, what happened with all the...
Made the earth tremble.
yeah,
That
like...
like, shake kingdoms.
Is you see Reggie? I thought he was the shit. Like, I would go on. Now you here digging with me the gallows.
You see, but we guys who really, how them returns up there, we come to them life madness.
Strangest of the salvation, right? Verse, second, just 15 verse 18. It say, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. It say, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Yeah, because of the pride. One example of that is what the brother was talking about earlier, manipulating the stock market. Because why? You don't want to come out and say, no, $40 trillion are that as of today. We don't know what the fuck to do.
Men rack up the debt.
And know what to do, and they keep borrowing and borrowing.
Men
and
Not
rack
go
up.
borrowing, you know.
Men rack up
It's
years
a
and debt.
printing money.
Printing, well,
Men rack up years of debt in a couple of months.
And remember, the money that they're printing have no value, so it's based on that. So when I say what's going on, I order 5 fighter jets, and each fighter jet is about umpteen million. But you still owe me, you know. This little paper just says,
I owe you, yeah.
correct, I need line to get paid. You get what I'm saying? That's how it is going.
Yeah, so, I believe it's 300 billion or something.
Yes, it's billion. I think it was billion. It's
Yeah,
billion.
so this week
I think it's billion. No, he can't borrow millions. No, with trillions in that, you can't borrow millions. I agree.
The Iran shoot down a plane the other day worth 500 million.
Make 500 billion.
One.
That is one plane.
And as he saw Edom, so we know he about 17 and he go and put 9 on the case. You know.
Two, eh?
And
So it's a million.
More than two, eh? More than two.
And yesterday on the Iran news channel, they say that they shoot down, I think it was a Black Hawk or something.
Yeah, no, the Black Hawk, that one going to rescue the men.
Yeah, and they said 10
The cavalry get
10 soldiers who went on the rescue mission, they missed it.
the cavalry get taken
Them
down.
I take a rescue.
that
Them
was-
are the
that was
guys.
mentioned earlier. He mentioned the one that is saved, but he mentioned the 7
How much they lost? Done.
Imagine you wipe it out, the cavalry gone, and you wipe out the cavalry.
And that is what going on. Watch. That's why the cities will be trouble because of their pride. People are going to this will cause sedition.
And then he talking about, and he mentioned it now 40 minutes ago, what? So he cussed them to open the street. They didn't start nothing. It's only
Exactly.
started. You understand?
And
So they
you
started.
vex because of the repercussions and the consequences of your
But
actions.
as strippers call them out, they're like a child. It's because they want a child go do, they go hit you and expect you not to do what?
Not hit them back.
Sure, that they
And hit them back, they vex, they crying. They hate my phone.
As somebody say, just imagine, you is the king of a great nation, right? But you crying on the media because you attack somebody and them attack you back. You see what you expect them to do?
It
Take
working
the
out.
attack?
It working out.
You begging the people. Well, one of the soldiers thing, let me come and get them. Oh, you killing them, you murdering them, you killing them. They blow up one of the schools, 150 something children died. And you want them to think
For one
they just
man,
luckily,
for one
and we
adult?
believe it's true. Because it can be lies that they give up. They must even give up that soldier out there.
Yeah, more than likely not. For everything them do right now there. That whole area have a burning desire to watch them fall. You feel there's one person on coming on it.
And one guy goes to the next day.
Them soldiers who go on missing from the
And-
Black Hawk, they go and find them.
And in the article it say that it say the 10 or how much soldiers are missing. They say Iran put out a order, reward.
Yeah.
But they put out order for the men at different cities and things to go and hunt them. They want them alive though. Yeah.
Yeah, them, I make a video.
Yeah, they get tortured.
A video with the thing on the face
They
thing
get
up.
tortured, you should have
It's
never
a gun by the
pushed
head.
Yeah.
You should have
Tell
never
your
pushed
president. like Saddam Hussein
They
days.
get tortured, mentioned, you should have never
Remember, he's a wild man, you know. He what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
You say, remember when you drop the care package and then you blow it up when they was going fit?
You go and see men straight. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't forget that. So imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine them. I can't forget that. So imagine them over
Imagine
here.
seeing all men string up on like all these slaves with the tie on all fours.
Yeah, and they just beat also in the front direction.
They just string you up somewhere, and you're just seeing them in the video.
No, it's a serious thing because of, right?
Verse 15, verse 19. It says, man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. It says, and for great tribulation. So great tribulation will not come, lack of bread will not come. And men will not be not in the right mind.
And to be honest, I get already here, people just don't know. You know what I mean?
But-
That great tribulation already here.
That's why going and reach to the degree where it's actually visible.
Very blatant.
Yeah,
You can't ignore
you
it.
literally can't go in the grocery and buy things.
You can't ignore it. That things. First to begin with, the quality of things now in the grocery compared to, let me say, 10 years ago is
He tear it.
the worst ever. The worst ever. You know what I mean? The worst ever. You know? That aside, when you go to the grocery now, you're not seeing. Alright, so they have a certain amount of things, and every time I go, the majority of the time, like I'm talking about like say for rice, flour, sugar, it always have a big dent in themselves. You understand? You don't ever go and see themselves pack out right up. If you go price mart and all, because you go buy a thing I just saw you reach about 18 pack of rice on a pallet is how much? About 500 to 1,000 pack of rice. You don't ever see them thing like. You understand? Because people buying them thing fast because buy these as essentials. So when the famine or the lack of bread, in other words, get blatant, what you feel is the first things wrong go?
Well, toilet paper for one.
Well, in Trinidad.
In Trinidad.
We just use
But
that
oil, flour, rice is the key main thing.
Yeah, oil, flour, rice, salt.
Yeah.
But then he pick it up sugar. You see salt?
Yeah.
Man, going with salt. I mean, you care about sugar, you can keep that.
Yeah, no, you see flour and rice?
Yeah.
Flour,
Flour, rice, and
salt.
oil.
It's
And
too
oil.
big that it's
Yeah,
yield.
but oil?
And oil.
Yeah, they can't get enough for that. They can't get enough for that.
That going on, that first thing you clean out. Rice and flour.
Yeah, but that's the
for
essentials.
You know,
Yeah,
things
dry
that
peas,
is
thin peas.
that is accumulate a lot.
Non-perishable.
Yeah.
What is that serious thing? Okay, look.
And then from there everything else going on start.
You know,
Remember you scriptures talk about calves down
Dung
being
is-
sold and
Yeah.
dogs down and all kind of thing for high money. And the head of a calf and all kind of thing. So imagine, and it's similar, say what, they say this time to come will be worse than any time that has ever been or any time that will ever come after. So if that situation was that bad and men were paying silver for dung to eat, just to have something to eat.
But you know, a lot of people will die of the famine, as the scripture says.
Now when I talk about people eating their own flesh and drinking their own blood, cannibalism, them things going to be happening. Because really and truly, not
Today
one
we'll
happening.
eat your son and tomorrow we'll be
Yeah, boy, my son today, yeah. Yeah, boy, my son today. You know what mindset you had to be? How hungry you had to be to literally make a conscious decision to born your child?
to make sure you have food for the
Just to make sure it's eat. That is how hungry, man, how hungry you have to be. And then someone was like, alright, cool. And she doesn't know not my child. You understand? Especially if she was in that mindset, when she doesn't eat yours, she doesn't come back to normal.
Yeah.
You know, that she doesn't step out on her. So next day she like, nah. Because when you're hungry and make some very stupid choices. But by the time she doesn't very full, she doesn't know, alright, cool. Brain come back to normal, nah, not my child. And hide the child. And she vexed about that. She's salty because next day she
yeah.
wanted to look up
the leftovers and your son studying all
like
time.
we had a deal, you know.
Yeah.
Say, verse 20, say, behold, said power, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me. He say, which are from the rising of the sun. They say, from the south, from the east and Lebanon. They say to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done unto them. Right? So these nations will not bring judgment upon them themselves, using each other. And plus the Lord will not bring judgment upon them with these chariots. Right? They say, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, scripture say what they say, he that touches you, touches the apple of his eye. Them hurt those you, them have to feel it for that. Them not going and get away with what it is they did. But they being deceived by these spirits and these magi's that they just talk to and making them believe that they will be able to escape such destruction. Right? So right now men rubbing up the crystal ball and getting all the answers. Yeah, do this, do that, do that, do that. You understand? And men receiving instructions to give them, not realizing that them getting put in a hole. But in the time to come, when it is the Lord break the sky, and then chariots are full, and men start to rub that crystal ball so they get answers, you realize they're lighting up no more. You understand?
If I may say something, right? I was reading an article where it said that is North Korea, South Korea. Which one Kim Jong-un from? North Korea. Yeah, so they say North Korea give Iran some ICBMs now. They say which pass through Russia and China to,
I think them 3 people could be helping them.
right. So,
Confirm China, Russia, and North Korea.
so the comment in the post was, you know, once this man step in this war, it's something serious and all over here. 'Cause
No, he first resort is nuclear warfare.
Yeah.
He's not even on that ICBM
Right.
and kicks it. Mr. Man, it's taboo.
Yeah.
He's not even wasting
Even
time.
if it's too, because at the end of the day, even though you have nukes, you remember his ally is China. Only, I believe, like on raw by paper, the only nation China can actually help
outright.
is North Korea. So, you understand the check, you understand the kind of power that have, like the question is China. You understand?
So even though he's not a part of BRICS, he's technically aligned with
Yeah.
BRICS because
So he would come like, they would come like,
I don't think on paper.
I don't know on paper, but I think
But yeah,
he's one of the nations that come into BRICS.
so in a sense, North Korea will come like Israel and China will come like America.
Yeah, so that,
Right.
yeah, correct.
Yeah,
So-
but just that North Korea not going and throw.
No, well, we know.
not directly.
Not directly.
Just know that
China.
wherever you see
Yeah.
them, it have nuclear.
Proxy is how Mendes do right now. You know?
That is all it is.
So you know, in his statement, it was saying, once this man step in, this it's serious. You know the thing?
Battery doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
see,
10 right?
Don't battery life.
Battery, I ain't seen it. I don't know. Right?
You're limited to speak at that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so they're saying once this man step in, but you know the scripture say that when the Lord burst through the sky, though they be afraid, they will still fight now,
Yeah,
but
correct.
because in the spirit, don't know, hey, they're the boss here. And they're watching
Fear will fall upon
North
them.
Korea as the real
You
bad
don't know
man.
because
yeah, but people only watching him. Yeah, I don't know how the people only watching him Batman because of how he just move. It's a kind of label I have on him now.
Yeah.
But really, actually, he never really show his strength.
Yeah, he never-
To say like it's supposed
we never went to nobody
Yeah.
to say, well, you know, you first thing is just, as I said, how they paint them. Because they paint him like a tyrant. They paint
paint him like the
as
man,
like
yeah.
he's the fucking.
But yeah, there's no rule by his citizens. I mean, watch places like North Korea and China and them places. They're not only very militant, but they have a lot of order. You understand?
Yeah.
It's not like how the Western society
But the
is
thing with
where-
North Korea is, the thing with North Korea is, they paint them that way because they know not much media is allowed inside North. In North
say
Korea, you
because-
have like 5 channels.
That's it, how
Government
they
only
deal with the
allow 5.
citizens.
Correct.
It's very orderly.
When you go, let me say you buy a ticket to go there, there's one here in the airport or the travel. Wherever you buy a ticket, there's one here about it. Say when you go there, you have to leave your phone in the airport. You collect it when you board in your plane. No pictures, no, you know what I mean? You can have, right now, the US government and England, they make, is England make the Rolls Royce? Whoever make the Rolls Royce, them want to know how Kim Jong-un end up with a Rolls Royce, because he's not supposed to have that. That is what they want to know.
I don't twerking on TikTok. in
Yeah,
there.
understand? They
None
can't
of
no
them
TikTok in
shippers.
North Korea.
None of them shippers.
You crazy what that something I watching recently. And China cars are actually better than the world cars.
You see how man calls she called these other parking spot and they come and drive next to she. I was like, nah.
Yeah,
I
so
see how
what you
woman
do
do
so.
so.
She got you to do so.
Yeah.
And follow she like a dog. Like a dog.
You can't literally come out of the parking. See, you can't turn on and literally drive out to the parking spot and come.
But they have a fucking car jumping 10 foot right now, 10 feet.
The Mark 5?
Is that, is Huawei?
Huh?
You guys are Huawei?
And then the Mark 5, no matter what you speed racer,
Yes.
the Mark
No,
5,
no,
the
this one is the Mark
hydraulic,
one. This
the
one
Mark
is the
5
Mark
does do that and jump up.
Nah, this
Then
one
it
though,
have one that-
if,
that,
see, if it's just like on one spot,
Yeah.
it would just vertical a little bit. You see when you're driving and you hit the
Xiaomi,
jump?
Xiaomi car.
Yeah. I
Xiaomi
say
car.
Huawei, I say Huawei.
Right? No, Huawei, I
Huawei
want
It's guys
Xiaomi,
Huawei.
yeah.
Huawei, I want to, yeah, but I can't. No,
It's a phone brand. It's either Huawei or Xiaomi. They show you drive it and they show you like a big pool of water in the road. And when you hit the jump, well, obviously you
When
propel
when-
forward and you
when-
jump it
yeah.
10 meters forward.
And then the Mark 5.
10
When that
meters.
car,
10 meters and you can't jump
Then it
it.
have one floating, could stay in water for up to half an
half an
hour.
hour, yeah.
Another boat car.
I know, yeah, it's not
but,
that big.
you know there's stock and everything don't say more obviously what.
It was spot.
You know? But when you go into like China electrical car, right? And a Jake goes to the comparison, right? He does more show when he do the electrical cars reviews, he does more show like cars around the world, like mostly China and things that you wouldn't hear about because remember America is far ban on it, right? So he just show you the difference between the two now. And we do was showing you how like the electric van and them, he's showing you where it gain in China compared to where it gain in America. China.
What the BYD and them? Or other brand?
Some other
I know the
brands.
BYD down here, like China.
Yeah.
Nah.
BYD is one, Billion
Because the one-
Dreams.
Belly dreams.
Yeah, because the one I see it,
That he have all over.
Yeah,
All them
yeah.
things is China.
the one I see was I ain't seen nobody had it. That one literally is China. You understand, like it in China. And if you see what you're doing, like inside and outside, and then you show the car when you're going over a speed bump or rough road, the car itself, it don't go straight. So it just do in a slant. So if it want to go so, it will slant and take on the straight over there, slant to go so. Slant to go
Understand
so.
what you mean?
Slant to go so. So, but like cars, wise and things, like when you watch it. So with that being said, now you go to the technology now with China. China is one of the first nations to actually use, like one look up the AI robots, one look up the AI dogs. They actually pass the law right now where the AI dogs legitimately could use in the art of war. You understand?
I remember the situation with the dogs in the building with the researcher when something with the AI and it connect to the satellite and it killed 21 of them. I remember that situation,
Yeah.
Is them who really come out with the dogs first?
I remember too, he sort of do things in a way. They might tell you, well, is you robot? Well, man, no, they get rid of the researchers because they just don't want the technology to
To
pass
come
on.
out, can.
You understand?
I remember that.
PW says that's what they've been doing for years. You know? So what they,
See, verse 22. It say, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The scripture say what they say. They say, they say it shall be cleansed by the blood of them that
Shed it, can.
Right? They had an answer for what they would do. Guys, the city, the Lord is perfect in his work. Okay, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. You understand? It said, they that kill with the sword
Must be
killed with the
killed.
sword, and they that lead into captivity must be led into captivity. Has to happen. They're not going to get away. There's no, you know, the usual partiality, they favorites. Moses play mad, he get Jacob. David play mad, he get Jacob. Esau not going to get Jacob, and he's come.
He's not my favorite.
Maybe real.
Even
He say he hate them.
Huh?
He say he hate
Solomon
them.
and all play mad and
Exactly,
get
and you know, Solomon didn't get Jacob in his time. He had to
Yeah.
come back.
As yeah.
He had to get to come back to get
As
Jacob.
you always
what was
say.
the judgment? That you will get stricken
by the hands of men.
You get another life, you have to come back
Immediately, yeah.
again. But you still have the answer for the things you do. You don't get away with it. That's why those that fear the Lord, we
Alright,
understand.
in layman terms, if he himself said, Jacob have I love, and he didn't spare them,
Yeah.
imagine what he could do to Esau, who he has hated.
Can't.
Imagine that.
He's not one of them kind of fathers.
Yeah.
He say, yeah,
Everybody
he
here
would,
into
he would
it.
drink from the cup. I rat,
During the drinks.
I think it's without mercy or something.
Without mixture. Without mixture. Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah.
Oh, that in Revelation 14. Talking about the judgment for them that
That fellows that took the mark.
took the mark. Yeah, that in Revelation 14.
Maybe it says,
Which I don't
the scripture say,
wanna
I think it's 18, and so he went double onto her.
Yeah.
And reward her double as she had done.
I think it's 18, Jeremiah also took about the cups of fire.
God. Right, it says, verse 23, it said, the fire has gone forth from its wrath and had consumed the foundation of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. It said, woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, says Jehovah. I will not spare them. It said, go your way, ye children from the power, defile not my sanctuary. Say, for the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. It say, for the plagues, it say, for now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for power shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. And our scripture say what they say, those that are joined unto them shall also
Slavery.
be
Yeah, Isaiah 31 and 30. Well, chapter 30 and chapter 31. After we show it, say he that helpeth.
Nah, what he talking about is 14.
Oh no, but it also like today where it says he that helpeth and he that is open, but all of them shall fail and fall down together. You know? Yeah, so them that push the doctrine of sin and them that practice the doctrine of sin, because basically if you have people coming out telling you, hey, this is wrong. And your justification is I like it. So I do not care if it is wrong, alright, no problem, carry on. As you were.
He said, if a prophet really sees, you know that he sees that prophet. I say what they say, the man who want the prophet and the one that follow after.
Correct.
Told them going and get bust up. Now I say, when you read the New Testament, they come back, you read the same thing when you say, if the blind lead the blind,
Both shall fall in that ditch.
Moses, you say the same thing, it's a different way.
Done.
Right? Like once it is you get caught up in that so you say what in marvel after the beast.
Wonder.
Who shall make war with the beast? That's how men does think. I didn't see a men talking about
We finding out now, you know. We finding out now.
This and that and no brethren. So they that with us, they be more than they that be with them. You understand? Even though you can't see them.
Hey, Psalms, they say tens of thousands.
God.
Yeah, some
Even thousands of thousands. God.
Now when the boys is
You know how much is that? 1,000?
Now what the Lord say what I going and see, you know.
1,000 is a million. So thousands of thousands.
And,
Yes.
and all they need is one. They can't overkill them.
What I ever read, I was reading somebody, so right now I read UFOs information coming out short time when they documented certain things and there was like a kind of incident where I believe it was Russia or Serbia, one of the places where something they was going to do on a UFO, right? Pass and shut off all the electricity and then radars and everything cut off and crash, the place and then crash and they never like they could have never explained like
What happened?
they know it was a UFO because they see it, but they just crash everything.
You can explain well it is an EMP or nothing. All they know is when that passes, it black out
You
and
need all the evidence. Once an EMP hit, they destroy all circuitry. So any cameras you had, I was filming it, mash up.
Then it had a account with America was given some accomplices and he told some of the hearings and like some of the stuff they hear the child to do. You know, it's like they was trading one-on-one to went into a volcano.
yeah,
So
that's
they couldn't, and they didn't know what it was.
It had one with some fighter jet flyer in World War II.
Yeah, and
He said he and the next flyer, them flying parallel to each other, and he said like something just come up in the middle of them. Them flying and only butter. And let's see something come up in the middle of them and take off. They said they tried to run it down. They said I think they was doing Mach 2 or Mach 3. And I speed, I sound them flying. And he said the only thing still meters in front of them, they can't catch up. They say it have no technology. He said at that time we had the best on earth. So if that was so fast then, he said it would have no technology on earth to be done.
And you think about it, like somebody ex-Navy men and agent men and all of them, like those given accounts, like they see it, and like they have radars. Like when stuff get close to it, they go send off a stuff to tamper with that, and no matter what it is, they couldn't even nothing to do could have stopped.
They're just rolling like another day.
You may have that video like a long time. We did like a rocket for a launch off, and something was
It
passing,
passed,
it
and
still
that
blow.
was sometimes I blow it up one
It still
time.
blow.
It says Psalm 68 verse 17, it says the chariots of God are 20,000, even 1,000 of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place. So the Lord said that they don't back like the Sinai, and the Lord said, even that's why I don't mention World War II. That's why when you read Exodus, where it said the angels was in the midst. Some of them was tormenting Pharaoh men. You understand? So that's how it used to be. Hey.
And all of this thing is just one.
All of this thing is just
You understand? But even in your account with David, when it is he had to choose out of the three for looking up. One angel was just taking out thousands of men.
That was when
he number Israel.
He number Israel.
Yeah. You understand?
Just
taking
one.
out men.
Just
one
one.
angel, man, see the
When he look up and he
swinging
see.
a sword, and thousands of men dying in one day. All of this take is just one. He wasn't even probably, you understand? So imagine whole sky full like bloodbath, Reggie. Bloodbath. Men just having a time. I could stop more than you.
Just imagine them child goes to sky, how you going to be? Next thing you should do is go and just right now, I think one of the most trending topics in the world for the past weeks was UFOs. The sightings of it and so forth. Right? And we don't know. We don't say UFO, we say IFOs to identify to describe it as a child of the Lord. Now we know Esau have the fake ones. And that's where they pay attention to because one of the things written in their agenda is a fake alien invasion.
Yeah, believe
You know? But we at the end of the day, that's why we had the prophecy. We know certain things that are clear before they come in the Lord. Right?
What are the signs of thy coming?
The same way you went up and the same way you come back now.
That's right.
We know that they can't fake nothing that they will see.
Yep, that's right. So hey, once again I want to give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakorash.
Right, we said that once apostle and that's a very most the word was teachers of apostle in truth. I was just salutation, so we have to answer truth and sincerity, the in and the out and the constant in, so we say shalom. Shalom to you. Right? Shalom, shalom.